welcome back. How are you feeling today? Oh, fantastic. That's wonderful to hear. Please sit down and get comfortable. You know the drill by now. That's right, it is our third session together. And how does that make you feel? Oh, fantastic. That makes me feel really nice. Thank you so much. Well, as you know, here in therapy we are pretty questions forward. So I do like to ask you quite a few questions to get the ball rolling, and then we really take it from there. I did ask you a few questions last time, so I'm just going to go over my notes really quickly. Alright, and I have some more questions prepared for you today. And just a reminder, everything that takes place here remains between us, okay? So, yes, we keep things very confidential. Fantastic. Just writing today's date. Alright, so I asked you a long time ago if you do remember our first session. I asked you quite a few personal questions to reflect on, and I did say that we would draw on those every now and then, and I would get some in-depth information. And of course, from the first session until now, you might find that your answers have changed. Yes, it's pretty common. So, I asked you who I am most jealous of and why in our last session. So let's follow up with a different question. Let's get a little more, how should we say, personal perhaps. So one of the first questions here I have that I asked you is, am I truly proud of the person that I am? So I'd like you to think about that for a minute. Just reflect on that. And you can say yes or no simply. Why or why not? And I would like to dive a little deeper. And don't mind me if I just jot down some little notes every now and then. So I will repeat. Am I truly proud of the person that I am? Okay? Okay. How long ago was that? And that's when you felt. Okay. And it's perfectly normal to feel some days and some days not so much. That's perfectly, yes, completely healthy, I would say. All right. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Well, I really did enjoy asking you those follow-up questions, so in each session we will touch upon. All right. But of course I have a lot of brand new questions for you. Precisely. Some of them are, you can answer yes or no, and some of them are a little bit more open-ended, so I do appreciate your engagement and thoughtfulness. Great, great, great. So let's change course a little bit. Would you say that you're a good sleeper? Do you have trouble sleeping at night? What is currently keeping you up at night and causing you stress, would you say? Okay. And there's multiple little factors. So overall this month, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your stress level for the current month that we're in? On a scale of 1 to 10? And why not a little bit lower? Okay. And why not a little bit higher? Mm-hmm. Fantastic. So, in theme with talking a little bit about stress, how do you handle stressful situations in a social setting? So, a little bit similar to what keeps you up at night, but this time socially. How would you say you handle that when it comes up? Yes? Mm-hmm. Can you expand on that a little bit? Mm-hmm. You can give an example of work or schooling or... Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. Hmm. Little bit stressful. Okay. And would you say you have a little bit of social anxiety, or do you typically thrive in a social setting? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, very. Look at that. A tiny bit. Mm. Mm. I see, I see. Yes, exactly. So, in changing topic just a little bit here, I don't want to stress you out too much. In talking about stress, it can trigger those. Yes, often we become what our thoughts are, I find. So if we're constantly thinking about stressful situations, it's almost worse than actually engaging in the stressful situation itself. Do you find that often if you're stressing about a certain project or presentation or even a social situation where you have to see someone who might cause you a little bit of anxiety? Do you find that? Yes, exactly. Yeah, do you find that it's a little bit worse before the actual event itself? And then while the event is occurring, it's not nearly as bad as what you were stressing about. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's very common. Yes. Yes, we can be our own worst enemy at times, to be honest. But that's the important thing, is recognizing that. It comes a lot with overthinking. Would you say you're an overthinker? Mm-hmm. Okay. And what would your definition of an overthinker be? Ah. Mm-hmm. Mm. I see. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that applies, of course. Yes. Interesting. I agree. I agree. So, speaking of people in our life that can cause us some stress, when is the last time you felt disillusioned by someone important in your life? Disillusioned, so as if something snapped and you just sort of felt almost a sense of bewilderment, as though this is not who I thought this person was, or this person really let me down. Mm-hmm. But disillusioned, precisely. Mm-hmm. And who was this person to you? Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm. Ah, I see. Mm-hmm. And how did that make you feel? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very understandable, yes. In going forward, what would you say are the essential components of building trust within a relationship? Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can just, yeah. Okay. In building trust, yes. Mm. Mm-hmm. Of course, of course. And that can definitely add to that feeling. Mm-hmm. Oh, interesting. So you didn't quite feel like yourself in that situation. Hmm. What would you say makes you feel most unlike yourself? Hmm. Mm-hmm. And is this socially or okay? Mm. All right. And so, in going forward, what positive changes would you like to see in your life? In going forward, yes. Mm. Okay, and? Mm-hmm. Yes. Positive changes, yes. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Interesting. Do you think you will be putting forward the effort it takes to get there? Mm-hmm. Hmm. And do you have a plan for that currently, would you say? Mm-hmm. Hmm. So what positive changes would you like to see in your life? And they can be positive changes that you effort. Yes, you put in the effort. Or they can be positive changes that you just hope will occur. Yeah, mm-hmm. Of course, it can be as dreamy as you'd like it to be. Yes. Yep, fire it off. Even if it seems far-fetched, I would love to hear it. Mm. Mm. That's a good goal. Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, it can be that small, of course. Yes, it doesn't have to be something. Of course. Yes. Mm-hmm. Good. I highly recommend baby steps. The interesting thing that is actually very well proven, it seems quite small, but if you wake up each morning and you make your bed, you actually feel much more accomplished with yourself than not, because you've already started the day in completing one successful task. Yes, so I do challenge you, if you don't already, tomorrow morning I would love for you to wake up and make your bed. Yes, it's a great practice, and it makes you wake up and feel much more accomplished. The same goes for brushing your teeth. Mm-hmm. And then these baby steps, slowly, 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 when you make them part of your routine. It's quite interesting. It is. It's very, yes. So I really am all for the small changes in life, because life is all about the small things after all. So as simple as making your bed each morning, precisely, that can be a great goal for someone. Definitely. Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Oh, that's a good one. Yes. Fantastic. So we spoke a lot about stress today. What would it take for you to feel more at peace within your life currently? Mm. Mm. I see. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. Very interesting, yes. It's good that you recognize that. Mm-hmm. So, who is the most trustworthy person in your life currently? It's good to have a good group of people you can trust, but who would you say is the most trustworthy person? If a name comes to mind, or the closest thing to that. Mm. And who's this person to you? Okay, I see. Fantastic, fantastic. So, with that being said, who in your life do you turn to for guidance? Yes, other than, of course, your therapist. Who do you turn to for guidance? Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm. And they did recommend, okay. Seems like a very good person. Fantastic, yes. All right. biggest challenge you are currently facing right now. So what would that be, and how would you define the importance that that takes in your life currently? Of course, this is the biggest challenge, so we've touched upon that for sure. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. And this is, yes, you would say that that is the biggest one. Mm-hmm. Of course, yes. Mm-hmm. I see. I see. I see, yes. Good. On that thought, how have you been coping with these past challenges that you have brought into therapy so far? So this is the current one, and what about those past ones? Because I can see things have slightly shifted. So how have you been coping so far? And you've been putting this into practice, or... Mm-hmm. Yes. Good. That's what we spoke about exactly. Mm-hmm. So, can you then tell me about a time when you are not experiencing these stressful situations? So just reflect on that time. You can tell me a year, and you could just paint a picture of what your life currently looked like at the time, of course. Yes. Mm-hmm. And how old were you? Oh, okay. Of course. It was different levels of stress, yes. So at the time you would have also experienced that. And now, of course, yes, well, hindsight is 20/20, as they say. Precisely. Ah, okay. And you are simply chasing that happy feeling, you would say. Okay. It's good to remember in dealing with happiness that happiness is sort of, you can say, a side effect of the choices we make in life. So you can't suddenly just get happy without really putting in the work to do so. So happiness is basically a side effect. And it's not a destination that we're just going to arrive at. We're not suddenly going to feel happy, even if we have made choices precisely, because in life we're always going to have these tiny little stressful situations coming up. And I like to think that these small things do help prepare us for the bigger things. But it's sort of like a roller coaster, and that's simply life. You're never going to start from here, even if you put in the work and suddenly arrive here. It's simply going to be like this. And we simply hope that when the downs do arrive, that we know how to cope with them and just arrive at that happy sensation all over again. But it is important to feel each emotion, I would say, so I do not recommend numbing the sensation of sadness. We need sadness to understand happiness. Yes, I will share with you, as a child, in dealing with the afterlife and how perfect everything seemed, I was also struck with the thought that it might be a little bit boring, you can say. Because being simply on cloud nine all the time, while that does sound lovely, there's no challenge in that. It's almost as if you've suddenly won the lottery. Not a small amount that could help out with things and would be really nice, but if you suddenly won $1 billion, would you not lose that motivation and that drive in life? That's something to think about, for sure. Interesting, right? And how would you feel if you won $1 billion? Right? Fantastic. Fantastic. I love your insights. I do. I honestly enjoy these sessions, and I hope that you get as much out of them as I feel rewarded and sharing my time with you as well. Wonderful. Well, I do ask you to always think about those questions that we went over in our first session. That way I can ask you at random on our next session and perhaps you'll be well prepared. Precisely. In our last session, we did go over 2 questions. I did ask you what event in your life has shaped you most as a person and how did it do so? Did you have some time to think about that a little bit more? Okay, if you could just go a bit in depth, just a tiny bit. The event, yes. How old are you? More or less, okay. Yes. Okay. Interesting. And in talking about that life event, on the flip side, I also asked you, what do you want people to say at your funeral? And I had you reflect on that. So did you think about that a little bit? Do you have an answer? All right. Okay. Fantastic. In our next session, I would like to sort of ask you to think about what you would have to do in order to make that so. So, regarding what you would want people to say at your funeral, what life would you have to lead in order to make that so? So, in order to be assured that they would say that about you at your funeral, what kind of life, what lifestyle would you have to lead, okay? I just want you to think about that, all right? And we'll discuss that further in our next session, of course. But our time is up. It's been so lovely chatting with you. It really has been. You're always such a joy and a pleasure to see. And you do look very well, if I can say so. All right, well, you take care. Stay safe. And remember that you are loved and cared for. Okay? You are. It's been a pleasure. And I will see you in our next session.